What college or career advice would you have for Purdue students?
I do have some advice, and I think it's kind of dangerous always when folks that have reached my stage in their career offer advice, because the world changes so fast. It's like, did what worked for me, would that really be good advice for a young person in college now or beginning their career? So I don't know, so take it with a grain of salt. But I think there are probably a few things that are pretty universal. So my advice to young people would first be, don't shut any doors. If you can possibly leave options open for yourself, do so. And if that means when you're still in college, taking some extra courses, some electives, even if it means extending your stay a semester, sometimes it's really, really worth it. The other part of leaving your options open is not being afraid to try something that you're really not sure you can do. I think twice in my career I can think of people who asked me to do something and I thought, I can't do that. One of it was to be on a committee for an international conference. I had never traveled outside the United States. A friend at Purdue asked me if I would co-chair the proceedings with her for this international conference. And I said, I don't have any experience in doing anything like that. She said, I know you can do it. That was all I needed. I said, okay, I'll try. It was a door that opened for me for the rest of my career. I met people in Europe that were doing things for women in science and engineering, in Asia and Australia, just all over the world really, that have still today become friends and colleagues. So I just think, if it's something you're a little bit afraid of, just swallow hard and go for it, because often it works out to be one of the best decisions of your career. Another thing I think is terribly important, and it came very vividly to me, and that's to treat everyone you meet with respect, whether at work or in your neighborhood or wherever you might be, other organizations, because you never know down the road when one of those people is going to turn out to be a colleague, perhaps a mentor for you, or, as in my case, your boss. And then it's like, boy, I'm sure glad I was, nice to her and treated her with respect, because it could have come back to be very harmful to my career if I had not done that. So I think that's a good piece of advice for me and for others. And the last thing is sort of personal as well as career, and that's to try and keep things in a reasonable balance. It's very easy when you love your job as much as I did at Purdue and as much as I do here to kind of put everything else on the back burner and just stay so focused on your career that you forget there are a lot of other important things in your life. And so my advice would certainly be to not let your career consume you, but to remember commitments you've made, responsibilities you have to family, to friends, to other organizations, to just, as best you can, keep everything in balance.
Great. Well, thank you, Jane Daniels, Program Director at the Henry Luce Foundation. You received, once again, your bachelor's at Washington University in St. Louis, your master's in Education, Counseling, Student Services at Purdue, and lastly, your Ph.D. in Higher Educational and Organizational Behavior from Purdue in 1988. Thanks again for your time and help.
You're welcome, and go Boilers.